So honest, I don't even really have a specific thing in mind to talk about, but because I wrote on my to-do list that I'll record a video today, so I'm going to go ahead and record this video. But the thing that just popped into my mind to talk about now is just like for anybody that feels like a failure. So at least as of lately in my life, especially, I felt like a failure. I'll have gone over the whole story, but if you go and watch my previous videos, I'll explain this better. But basically, I mean, like a financial mess, basically, and I just feel like a failure, a terrible failure. And I usually look at it with two sides, because on one hand, you know, I feel like a failure. I fucked up, did stupid things like financially and all that. I mean, all these debts, owing all this money, always feeling anxious, stressed, all these things, and it's annoying. Like I don't like it. But on the other hand, to some degree, I'm proud of myself at the same time. Proud of myself, not necessarily because I'm failing, but to some degree, yeah, because I'm failing. Because you only really fail if you attempt, if you try. Like if you go and write an exam, for example, it's either you pass or you fail. But you only fail if you wrote the exam. If you didn't write the exam, okay, maybe if you're absent from the exam, you can still fail, probably. But in general, like just simply, you usually fail if you are trying. The fact that you're failing means you're actually doing something, you're actually trying. But either you did it wrong or you made stupid decisions, or like the thing is just not working. But just the fact that you're actually taking action, just the fact that you're actually moving towards something, just the fact that you're actually trying to make progress, like that's actually something you should be proud of for yourself. And I usually because many times I used to just look at the negative side a lot, like look at the stupid things, I have all these problems, and yes, I'm still chilling as if nothing's happening. I'm supposed to be working hard, I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm doing this, and of course 100% I should be doing all these things. But I remember there was just one day I just sat back to think about it, that in my entire life, even though I've barely made progress and all that, but in my entire life, this is probably the most experience I've ever been. This is like the most risk I've ever taken. This is the most money I've ever made in my life, although it's like barely any money as usual, obviously. Like I made pennies, but before now I've basically never made money before. The only thing in my head is just usually concepts, ideas and all these dreams and everything, but I never really did anything with it. And now that yes, I did make money, but it's pennies, is barely enough to cover the debts, to fix the issues and everything. But the fact is that I did something. Like I tried, and even though I failed horribly, I did try. Like I did just take that risk. I did take that leap of faith. And like I've said many times, it didn't end well. Trust me, but it just did make me proud. And one thing I started to realize like lately about myself is like I just kind of I noticed, I don't even know what exactly causes it, but I noticed that to some degree I kind of like problems now. And let me explain. It's not like I necessarily like problem because nobody really likes problem. Everybody wants to like be stress free and all that, which is true. But I like the idea of having a problem, having like something that is disturbing you, having something that needs to be fixed, having a problem basically, and you trying to look for the solution to that problem, you being a problem solver. I remember sometime last year, I can't remember the exact time, but basically in this portrait that my mom runs and everything, so there's this drinker thing, like there's this thing that drinker is like a small tank. They usually pour water there for the stupid chickens to drink from. So it's like a tank, then the tank is not connected to like the chicken's cage, then there's one thing that they usually used to drink from. So that tank stuff, one stupid rat now jump inside it. So me and my younger brother were now trying to kill the rat. So in the process of we trying to kill the rat and stuff, we now broke the tank stuff. Like we're using sticks, we hit it, the thing now broke. And I think the rats, the rats died eventually, trouble. The tank now broke. So we now had to fix this thing now. And like my mom had to call the person that usually fixes it and all that. Like the person just couldn't come that day. And assuming it's only human being, like if it's human being that doesn't see water to drink, except it's like a small baby or something, like you can survive for a few hours, even for an entire day without drinking water. But all these stupid chickens, give them a few hours without drinking water, they'll start dying one after the other. So, or no, they might not necessarily die, just that their egg production will drop significantly. So, but the things that we have like a spare tank, like there's one, then we now have like another spare one that we're using before, but like we stopped using that one. So we needed to take that spare one and replace it with the one that was already there. And it was not easy at all because the spare one was a little bigger than the one that was there. So when we lose it and try to put it in, didn't fit. So basically had to try so many we had to try it so many times, and it was very, very annoying. But eventually, after hours of me and my brother trying, testing, doing different experiments, just trying to make it work, we eventually made it work. And it just feels very, very satisfying to just like fix this thing, that we just solved this problem. And it just made me, I don't know, it just made me like, there's just this sweet feeling I had in my stomach of just like, this is basically how humans have evolved. We have a problem in front of us, then we just keep trying to solve that problem. And the first attempt to solve that problem, very many times it doesn't always work out. Like, it's to just not bring the results that you want, but you like tweak the solution, so you make it better. You make the 2.0 version, then that same 2.0 will still have flaws, and you try it again, and 3.2, then you do it again and again and again and again. So eventually, maybe the 10th time you try it or the 7th time you try it, it's like you just get it right. You just hit the nail on the head and just solve the problem directly. And I don't know, just that experience of doing things like that, I just usually like it. It's just one with things like your phone as well. If you look at the current smartphones of nowadays, what's the latest iPhone now is like 15 Pro Max or whatever they call it. That phone is like crazy, it's like legendary and all that. But if you go back to the very, 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 very first iPhone that came out back in, was it 2008 or 2009? Like, it was rubbish compared to today. It was bad. But they didn't just stop there. Like, they needed a solution. Phones had buttons, phones were not smart enough or whatever. So they needed a solution. So they created this first version, this first solution. But this solution wasn't good enough. So they had to tweak it and tweak it and tweak it and tweak it. And now, like 15, 14, 13 generations later, imagine how crazy your phone is now today. So I know this is just like I've gone on a side rant, so it's not very relevant what I was saying. But basically, the fact that you actually try to solve your problem, the fact that you are failing means you are trying. And the fact that you're trying means like you're making progress, even though right now it might just be failure you're seeing, because you're just trying to calculate your success in terms of the results. Like, if I'm making money, I'm successful. If I'm not making money, I'm not successful. And that's true to an extent, but it's not usually black and white, because yes, you might not be making money, but there are very many things you have learned that if I put you in the same position you were just a few months ago, a few years ago, there are so many things you will do differently, because you are just wiser, because you have tried, like you have experimented. So, and that's also the same thing from like the whole thing I narrated earlier. The first solution you try to bring to the problem might not necessarily work. Like, it will probably fail. There's a very high chance it will fail. So the first time you try to solve this problem, maybe it's trying to be like you don't want to be broke again. So the first time you try this business model or whatever, there's a high chance it will fail. There's a high chance it won't really work. But the next time you try it again, or you try another variation and you tweak it and tweak it, like the 7th time you are trying to make money and all that, it's like you will probably hit the nail on the head. You will probably just get it right, because like you have done so many variations, you have tweaked the solution a little, that you now know what and what not to do. And when people now see you, they'll just think that like, wow, you're so talented and everything. And or so the other ones will say you are lucky. Like, to some degree, obviously you're lucky, because to be alive and to actually get it right, there's 1 in a million chance, whatever. But to some degree, it's like you're not really lucky. I've just done it so many times that you just know what and what not to do. So anyways, the fact that you're failing is actually a good sign. It means you're trying, and obviously it doesn't mean you should just stay failing and be like, oh, I'm failing and I'm trying, so I can sit back and relax. Like, obviously continue working, obviously continue grinding, obviously continue doing what you have to do. But at least just sit back, especially if the only thing on your mind is just negative thoughts. Like, just sit back and just look at how far you have come. That's one thing we don't do. We like to look at how far we want to go, like how far we have to go rather, but we rarely look at how far we have come. Like, there's I've forgotten where I heard it. Like, we like to look up and compare ourselves to people up, like, oh, this guy is richer than me, or oh, my life is so shit, I could be doing so much more with myself. But we don't usually look down at like, wow, even though this, like, obviously I'm not the richest person in the world, but I'm doing significantly better than so many people in the world, which is like, is something to actually sit back and observe about yourself. So if you are failing in life, you feel like you're failing in life, just know that you're trying. And if you are not trying, you can start trying. Even the fact that you haven't just failing, that's as if you're not even trying anything, that you're just failing. That's like the first iteration, the first solution you tried, or the first attempt you tried to do to live life. So when you now go and live your life again, but you not took it this time and stop doing a bunch of stupid things and start doing some smart things, your life gets better, but it might not still get you the results you want. And you tweak it again, stop doing more stupid things, like start doing more smart things, like till you eventually you just do it so well that you finally get the results you want. So the fact that you're failing means you're actually trying. And I know you don't say this to yourself, but I'm proud of you.